Welcome back to the Aloha Life podcast. This is Lindsay Pierce, and we're just going to talk about some fun things today. Let's go. What are we at? We're almost in the middle of March, the Ides of March right now. Hope it's going all right. But what are we doing this summer? What is going on? So, summer can be expensive. I don't know about you, but with kids, this is travel season, camp season, and then in between, the kids are just at home and think it's just time to spend all our money, right? So, let's talk about creating some summer strategy with our money. And that's going to start with a budget. I know that's the B word in some families, but breaking down things like what vacations you're going to do, what camps we have, childcare, entertainment. There are so many things in the summer, and it became even more evident when we moved here and away from Hawaii, because Hawaii, you live in the vacation land, so you don't have to go anywhere for vacation. But now that we live here, we almost had a kid going to China this summer, but that got canceled last minute. We've done several camps in the summers. We've gone on club team trips and travel team trips. It gets expensive and it adds up. So the more you can plan in advance and save in advance, the better off you'll be. So something we like to do is have a separate saving accounts for, each kid basically needs their own summer events, summer camps, whatever is happening, so we can work and build on making those savings. So with the one trip that canceled and we had put some money away for, we can now use towards his surgery this summer. Where you can move things around. It's not static and it's not unmovable, but you want to make sure to plan out and be ready for some things that come up. And this is the time of year to buy off-season stuff. In the early summers when all the winter stuff goes on sale, things like that you can do now to save up for later. Big part of the summer is the grocery bill. It is ginormous. I don't know what my kids do all school year, and then they come home for summer and think that there's like 15 meals and 10 snacks a day. I don't know why. I have boys, but having meals and things planned will help your budget tremendously. It is nice now that they drive and they go places, but they think they have to stop and pick things up every time they come home. And I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing today. We have this at home. And my one rule is if I make dinner and there's dinner at the house, that is your dinner. You're not going and spending money somewhere else. So something I know my sister-in-law is really good at is she gives her kids a summer budget, and they have a mix of free and paid activities, and she lets the kids choose which ones they want to come on, but they're limited to what that budget is that she gives them. So if they don't have any money left over, they can do things like host friends over for movie nights, backyard camping, things like that they can have just at their own home, or they do go hiking every week. So there are things that the kids can do to get out versus spending money all the time. And so the family activities where they're spending money, they have to make sure they have that in their budget when it comes time to do that. Something really nice, last summer I had two kids working. One was working at a local grocery store, and the other was working doing training for one of his sports. So he was getting paid for something he loves doing. The other was getting paid and got some discounts and things to help him save money on what he was saving up for. So there's ways as your kids get older that they can help out and have their own money to spend, which is amazing when they get to that point. So I'm at 3 kids working and 1 kid cannot. So summers are going to be busier and busier. And that's why I said last time or 2 weeks ago, spring break is literally the only time a year that we can travel. So I try to make it our big fun time of year. There's other ways though that you can save or earn money before summer, and that's I use Poshmark. I sell things that I'm no longer using. When I'm decluttering, I will list something for a specific amount of time. If it doesn't sell, I'll discount it once. If it doesn't sell, then I can get rid of it. but selling what you can to help you make money and, or freelance work, whatever you do. I have my travel business. My husband also does work on the side, smaller jobs that are not like huge construction jobs. I'll link to Fetch, which is an app that gives you points as you scan your receipts. So things you're already spending money on, this app will give you gift cards and money back for your everyday purchases. So hey, that's a win-win to me. I don't know, what other money saving summer tips do you guys have? I'm just trying to think out loud and just talk through what we do. When we lived in Hawaii, there was a summer program that the schools offered called Summer Fun. This is not summer school, this was summer fun. And it was the best thing ever because it was like $30. They got their school lunch for the day and breakfast, I believe, breakfast and lunch. And then there were activities and field trips and things that the kids could do. And that was, especially when I had littles at home, it was a way that the bigger ones just had time to be out and with friends and entertained versus just being stuck at home with me and the littles all the time. So I do miss summer fun, but my kids are too old for that now. That was one of the best programs ever. I'm just trying to think. Let's see. So yeah, whatever your family does, it helps just to get them involved. Like, what do you want to get done this summer? What are your goals this summer? I know my mom was an educator, and so this won't shock you, but we did summer school every morning. We had to read a certain amount of time. We had to do some school workbooks and notebooks and things. I was in the honors program in school. And so sorry, I have to check. There's a lot going on today. I don't know what this is because kids are out of school. This is what summer is like all in one day. I'm not ready. So just, yeah, having my mom be the one kind of pushing us to help us keep learning and growing and doing new things. We also got to make a meal every week, try a new meal. And then we had to do the grocery shopping and the planning for that, learning those kinds of basic everyday skills. We did sewing classes. I didn't enjoy art, but I did love dancing and music and things like that. So finding things and just developing things that they enjoy and they love. I have my son who really enjoys music, and then one who really enjoys art and drawing. And then my other one who's sporty and athletic. And then I have like my all around kid who loves everything. So just finding things that help your kids grow, but overwhelm them. This is kind of a break for them in their school, but you don't want them to kind of regress and forget everything they've learned in the school year. If you have youngers that are under like 8th grade and below, my favorite book series is What Your Blank Grader Needs to Know. So what your kindergartner needs to know, what your first grader needs to know. That was our summer book that they would work on and read in the summer because it's kind of just the basic things and knowledge that they should have had by the end of that school year. And so with the things and how COVID changed everything and they had their year of basically no school because they came home and got credit for just checking in online most days. So it's been hard to get kids back into that routine again. But having, kind of a little basic standard amount of what should they know really helped me as a mom. So I don't feel like they got too behind, too lost, too many gaps. And that's why I was always worried about, was hoping that they wouldn't have gaps. Yeah, I think we're going to have some doing summer school this year in the summer, but we do have kind of the online school $5 per term, which is a pretty decent cost. But to get some of those generals and things out of the way so that they have time for things that they do want to do. Like one has to take a basketball class when he makes the basketball team. And so that takes up a credit. And just to help them not feel so overwhelmed during the school year. We can do 1 or 2 classes in the summer. So yeah, there's a lot of options, but just thinking now, planning ahead, that's where we're trying to get you and help you out. It doesn't have to be expensive. And that's kind of my thing always, is like, it doesn't have to cost a ton. And summer can still be just fun and awesome. And So that's where I feel like having some intention with starting now and planning ahead now, getting ideas from the whole family, that's where to start. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. And if you have other ideas, I'd love to hear it. So please share. I will see you next week.